Hey guys, welcome back. So, bit of change up. Let's get into it. So, today's episode, we're on this. So, in the last episode, as you've seen, took it out for a drive, and then I took it for a few more drives. And I haven't filmed it, but yeah, just getting used to it. Driving it in manual is a little bit different to than what I'm used to, because I've only ever driven it being an auto. So, shifting was a little bit hard, just because I hadn't set the shifter up a little bit. Hadn't set the shifter up at all. So I adjusted that, got it pretty nice, was driving really well. And then I got given a really nice little linkage from a friend. It's a Stormski, or however you say it, linkage, which is pretty much just like a nice universal joint. It doesn't have any movement compared to this one, which is like the original. So it has like little bushes in the end, but I don't know if it's going to pick it up. But it has like elongated bushes. So I went and bought some more bushes. I was like, before I got given the linkage, and I was like, awesome. And I got them, and they have the same oval hole. So it baffled me, because to me, it would think that you wouldn't want any movement here. And I don't know how well it's doing it, but you got movement this way and every which way, pretty much. So forward and back, if you can see that. So yeah, really happy to a friend, Michael. I don't think he watches, but if he does, thank you. And yeah, that changed things again really nicely and working really well. I was driving it last Friday and got into the driveway, opened up the gate to put it in the shed, and drove it in the shed, and there was a big oil patch on the driveway. So it was probably about so big, and I was like, oh shit, what is going on? Anyway, pulled it in the shed. I've now got it up on jack stands, and I jumped underneath when it was still hot and leaking a little bit, and I'm guessing that it's coming from the oil cooler seals. So I had a look around, like the top of the engine, all the little seals and bits and like pressure sensors we put on the top are all nice and dry. Like I've a little hole that's in the back panel of the engine on the inside. I pulled that little cap off again and had a look in there, and I'll show you again in a second, but dry. So the only place I can find the oil coming from is on the top side of the cooler. So today's episode, I'm going to jump into that, pull it apart, and see what I did wrong. So let's get into it. instead of letting this video go on forever and watching a stupid idiot pull his engine out, I don't actually pull it out, just drop it down. But I worked out that this guy is an idiot, and I accidentally filled it up with too much oil. And so what happens is the breather fills up with oil, and it puts oil in your puts oil in your airbox, and spurts engine oil all over the back of the engine, and yeah, you think that it's leaking from everywhere, and it doesn't. It's not. It's just you're an idiot. So yeah, that's the end of this episode of me being a dingbat. So yeah, what happened was you meant to put in, say, 8 liters of oil into the dry tank, start the engine, get it warm, look at the fuel level from the level sensor, from the dipstick that sits inside the tank, and then you fill it up there once it's warm, because that way it's through all the engine, it's through all the cooler, it's running properly, and then that's the level you run it at. And I thought I was doing right, and I thought I'd done it okay, but apparently I didn't. Apparently I put in way too much oil, and it leaked everywhere. So I ended up dropping it down, working out that everything was dry, and it was coming out of the breather. And yeah, I'm an idiot. So I put it all back together. Ended up doing an oil change because I thought, why not? Because there's no oil left. Put it all back together, and it runs and drives and doesn't leak any oil at all. So we're in for a win. I've been driving a little bit more. I put a few photos up on my Instagram if you want to have a look. It's just purpose built with 2 T's. And so, yeah, that's it. So next week, jumping back into the Kombi. I got the gearbox and the engine to get sorted, and hopefully back in the car. And then after that, painting and sanding. So lots and lots happening. So please stick around. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.